So, first two things I'd like to say. First of all, this is the first gig I've ever been to where it felt like I'm in a WWE match. I mean, it really is a good incentive to keep to my time, because if I go over, I am slightly scared Triple H will come out of somewhere and choke slam me. But second thing, Billy, I'm scared to ask, but if fancying your sister is not the juicy stuff, what is?
It's a thought I had, I've never actually done it.
And that's what they all say, I'm sure. But, so I'm James, and so a few things I should tell you about myself. First of all, I am a beta male. And recently I have turned 27. Thank you. And so what I've learned about being 27 is your parents definitely have a different attitude towards you being single. So I'm single. Single people, give me a wee cheer. Listen to that desperation. And I'd also like to address that nobody at this table cheered. It looks like you guys still should have imaginary friends, let alone girlfriends. Okay, so yeah, when you are 27, when you're in your mid-20s, your late 20s, your parents have a different attitude towards you being single. When you're in your early 20s, I'm sure you guys will know, very supportive. Oh, don't worry, James, you'll find somebody. Oh, as long as they make you happy, blah, 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 all that supportive shit. The second you turn, about 26, I would say, is the cutoff, they turn into Christian Bale's version of Batman. Where is she? Where is she? Rachel! Rachel! I want grandkids! So yes, and my mother did the very supportive thing of signing me up to a dating site. Now the thing you need to know is I am dyspraxic. Now this is a condition that's sort of in the same wheelhouse as autism, ADHD, kind of in the same family, where we struggle to sort of understand sort of things being said, especially over text messages. And this dating site that she signed me up for was specifically for disabled people and people with like autism, ADHD, all that stuff. So she thought the best solution for someone who struggles to communicate through text messages was two people struggling to understand and text messages and all that. So, fun. And I've recently been thinking about Greek gods. You can see why people think I'm autistic. But so, Greek gods, they fascinate me because we all know the big ones. We all know Zeus and Hades and Poseidon and all that. But there's quite a lot of them. And as soon as you start to get down the list, they become a lot less impressive. For example, there is a Greek goddess called Cardea. And she is the Greek goddess of door hinges. Not the entire door, just the door hinges. Now there are three sort of main reasons why this confuses me. Number one is because the Greeks, they would assign a god to something they're scared of. So that's why you've got lots of gods of death and the ocean and things like that, pretty terrifying things. But that means there were a bunch of Greeks in ancient times going around opening doors going, "What is this witchcraft? Ah! Oh, the horror! Children, shield your eyes!" Point number 2, why I find this confusing, is because the Greeks would also assign a god to something they're confused about, that they don't quite understand. That's why you've got gods of love and things like that, big complex ideas. But somebody had to invent the hinge, which means there was a conversation in ancient Greece that went, "Behold, villagers, it is I, the great inventor. Behold my greatest invention. I shall call it the hinge." Great inventor? What does it do? Fucked if I know. And reason number three that I find the Greek god of hinges specifically confusing is because there was also a Greek god of door handles. But this Greek god of door handles came along about 100 years after the Greek god of door hinges. Which means there were a bunch of Greeks going around trying to open doors going, "How do I get this open? I can't, I want to open it, but I mean, I'm scared what will happen if I do, but oh my God. Quick, we have to find Rachel. Where is she? Behind this door." So, yes. Now, as well as being a comedian, I am also a bit of a poet. So I brought along one wee poem, if you'd indulge me. So it's actually quite meaningful. So it's not a funny poem, it's, but it is one of the first poems I've ever written, and it's quite meaningful and quite moving. It's called B. There we go. So, now, I know said I have dyspraxia. Dyspraxia. But I was tested for autism. Turned out didn't have it. But the way the autism test works, if you don't know, is it's basically like a video game. You've got certain points you have to make, and if like there's 200 points or something up for grabs, and if you get 80, then you have autistic tendencies. If you get 120, then you are autistic. So at the 200, I got 3. And they said, "James, not only are you not autistic, you're the least autistic person we have ever tested." So, what I'm thinking about Greek gods, I do not know. But I do, right? So, I'm from Edinburgh, and I work as a tour guide. And thanks to this job as a tour guide, I've developed a little bit of a hobby of reading unhinged reviews of places. So like, reviews of great places, just some weird bloke has come along and given it a 1-star review. And I have transcribed a review so I can tell you guys. And it's pretty much a winner. I don't think I will ever find a review that's more unhinged than this. And it's of Ben Nevis. You know, the biggest hill in the UK, Ben Nevis. So the review starts off. I'm sorry, that's a poem again, sorry. So the review, it does start off. The way up is long and rocky. There is no lift or tram up, which should be a necessity for a hill of this size. My girlfriend vomited 5 times on the way up because of the exhaustion and fear of heights. People returning from I will try to time it with the lights flashing on here, but here we go. People returning from the top encouraged us to go on by saying that there would be a pub at the top. This was a bloody lie. We lost several hours of our lives climbing this hill for nothing. No view or anything, since the summit is in constant fog. And this next bit, this was in capitals, block capitals, caps lock. People! There is no pub on the top! Neither are there any toilets or any other amenities on the hill. Yes, you can say that you've climbed the highest hill in the UK, but is it really worth it? I wouldn't be so sure.